Hey guys, it's Destiny, and today we're going to be going over Topaz's signature light cone, what it does, how much it'll benefit her, and possible alternatives and much more. Also, before we begin, comment down and tell me who is your favorite Stargirl character currently. Mine personally is Jingliu and Zila, since I love their designs, they're just super cool. If you guys enjoy videos like these, make sure to subscribe and also leave a like to support the video. Without further ado though, let's get straight into it. First things first, the light cone has adorable arts, and I absolutely love the cats and Numby in this light cone art. The light cone Worrisome Blissful also has some pretty interesting abilities, which is an additional 18% crit rate at S1, and the wearer's follow-up damage will increase by 30%. And this light cone has a very unique ability called Tame. To inflict Tame on a target, an enemy needs to be hit with a follow-up attack, and Tame will increase the crit damage the wearer will have when they hit the enemy by 12%, which is stackable by 2. So a total of 24%, which I'm not gonna lie, this light cone has a bunch of cool benefits. 18% crit rate, 30% additional follow-up damage, and also additional crit damage in battle. This makes this light cone pretty good on a basis level of what stats it can provide for the wearer. As for how this light cone will benefit Topaz and Numby, Topaz will appreciate the crit rate and crit damage in battle, since this will allow her to deal more damage and also make it easier when you build her for these stats, since this light cone is able to provide a bit of these very valuable stats. Plus, the light cone also at only S1 increases the follow-up damage by 30%, which essentially buffs Topaz's attacks, as a majority of Topaz's kit is considered a follow-up attack, especially because of Numby. Topaz will effectively get additional follow-up damage, crit rate, and crit damage in battle, so this light cone seems very fitting for Topaz. And out of all the current light cone options we have so far, this light cone looks very suitable for Topaz and looks like a great option overall, since it'll likely give her her best damaging potential overall, of course, and the way that Tame works in a sense makes Topaz even more of a hybrid character. In my videos, I've been saying that Topaz is a hybrid character because Proof of Debt is a very valuable debuff, kind of like how a Nihility character would inflict a debuff. So what I mean by this is that since Topaz has Proof of Debt that can inflict onto a single enemy, this is a debuff of course, that all follow-up attackers could take advantage of. And the Tame effect will allow for the crit damage buff for not only Topaz, but also allies who hit the enemy with the Tame effect. This now allows for your teammates to deal even more additional damage. Topaz now has her own damage potential as a hunt character with her follow-up attacks, her debuff onto the enemy, and also the Tame effect. So in a sense, now she's a hunt, nihility, and also kind of a harmony character when including this light cone, which is pretty cool. And when it comes to thinking of the synergies with other follow-up attackers in general, and what Topaz can do for the team as well as herself with the signature light cone as an option. But I also wanted to discuss the light cone on other characters if I think it'd be good, the light cone banner value as a whole, and also alternatives Topaz can use when it comes to her kits that we know of so far. When it comes to this light cone on other characters, these stats are a very nice addition, but I don't believe our other hunt characters will be able to fully take advantage of this light cone's potential. Genshin can use follow-up attacks, but it's a 65 fixed chance, which cannot be guaranteed. It's a fixed chance, not a base chance. So when it comes to the potential on other characters, while the stats are nice, I believe this light cone so far is very much for Topaz exclusively, and not our other hunt characters that much. So I'd likely only consider this light cone if you do intend to go for Topaz. And as for the banner value itself, it will have these light cones here, which the main light cone that stands out to me the most is Resolution Shines as Pearls of Sweat. This is a Nihility light cone that has Luka on the light cone art. This light cone has been having a huge come up with Pela mains and is an amazing Nihility light cone to consider. And even could be a possibility for Guinaifen. If you do plan to pull on Topaz's banner, of course, you'll have a chance to pull our newest Nihility character, Guinaifen, as well. This light cone is great for further debuffing enemies and having a base chance to inflict Ensnared, which will decrease the defense of an enemy for 1 turn. And this can be reapplied each time the enemy does not have Ensnared as long as the wearer hits the enemy. Then the base chance to inflict Ensnared will be able to trigger again. This can be great for additional defense debuffs on enemies alongside whatever debuff your Nihility character already does, which can be more defense debuffs, damage taken increased on enemy debuffs, and much more. So this light cone in particular is very nice to snag, but when it comes to the other light cones, just from my personal experience and looking at a majority of the light cones, there's usually better known alternatives to use on most of our characters that we have so far. So I'd say that Topaz's Lycone banner overall isn't too bad, as you can pull an awesome Nihility Lycone, and also Topaz's Lycone looks awesome for all of those who do go for Topaz. But lastly, I wanted to discuss alternative Lycones for those who are unsure about pulling for Topaz's Lycone. The main Lycones that come to mind that can be awesome alternatives is the free cruising in the Stellar Sea from the Hertha shop. If you do not have many options, this Lycone is very good because you can easily get this Lycone to super in position 5. All you have to do is just play through Simulated Universe very often, and this Lycone overall is great. It's a great option for a majority of Hunt's characters, and I'm sure Topaz will be no different in this case, so I'm sure she can use this as well. I'm personally thinking one of the best alternatives though will be Swordplay. Swordplay is a gacha Lycone, however, this Lycone is really good because of the damage increases you are able to get at a very consistent rate if you are using Topaz. The reason why it'll be a consistent rate is because of how Proof of Debt operates. When you have Proof of Debt on an enemy, Topaz will likely always want to attack this enemy. Numby is also going to be locked onto this enemy for targeting them. This Lycone gives you damage increases the more you consistently hit the same target. So the way that Swordplay will be able to operate is that Topaz hits the same target, Numby hits the same target. You will accumulate these stacks for the Swordplay buffs. This is really good. The only bad side or downside, I suppose, will be when you have to switch a target eventually. If you go into wave 2 or wave 3 of a fight, well, now you have to reapply Proof of Debt on somebody new. So now you have to regain all those damage increases. But I still think this Lycone has incredible potential, especially when you have the uptime on this Lycone. The only downtime will be primarily when you have to switch targets, so of course that is a thing to consider when you are using this Lycone in particular, but I still think this Lycone overall will be an amazing alternative, especially if you can get really high super impositions, as the damage increases can get pretty high at that point, and it'll just be an awesome option. If you are going to go for different Lycones, I'd primarily look at ones that just can give you the stats. So like crit rate stats, crit damage stats. You just want more consistency in dealing crits onto enemies based on one, how Topaz's Lycone looks so far. You probably want similar stats if possible. So I'm thinking the crit rate or crit damage can be good, but of course, Topaz's Lycone just looks amazing so far. That'll be all though for my thoughts on Topaz and her signature Lycone. I do think her signature Lycone by far will be her best option and what it could possibly allow for Topaz to do for teams and also for herself. But the alternatives aren't too shabby either for those who are only able to pull for Topaz as a character. If you can't get the Lycone, it's okay. I would primarily try looking at Cruising the Stellar Sea or Swordplay. I will be releasing more videos on Topaz and also Guinaifen this week for Topaz's release, and I'd love to know what you guys think about Topaz. Let me know as well. Are you guys going for the Lycone, or are you guys gonna just skip on it and go for one of the alternatives? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and I hope you all have a great one. Peace.